All right, and we are here with a new episode, April 7th, first episode of April. And time flies, as you all know. But, woo, we're here. Todd's here, I'm here. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about.
Time just ticks with me. It don't really fly.
Yeah. Well, for me, it just be going by. But, I mean, time ran out for Arizona on Sunday. Jeez, that was a pretty good game. But the last two possessions was like the basketball IQ was nowhere to be found on those last two possessions. Like,
yeah, it's crazy that they were even in the game because Arizona they shot awful, only 28% from the field as a team, and the only one came to play is Miss McDonald.
Yeah,
and honestly, if the team would have came to play, it wouldn't even been the game.
Yeah, I mean, they only got 8 points in the first quarter. So it was that Stanford's game plan was everybody but McDonald's is gonna beat us because they were throwing 2-3 people at her whenever she got the ball. Plus, Stanford's big.
Yeah, Stanford is big. Stanford's big.
They are big. Like every one of those girls are big. So, and McDonald, I don't know how tall she is, but she looked tiny when she compared to the Stanford girls.
And they had their best players covering her at the end of the game because the ones you're talking about who were the bigs, what they go for 37 combined as a team. Not as a team,
Jones
but
and Hull.
Yep. Those are 2 out of the 3. So my bad. Those are all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So overall good game for Stanford because Arizona basically let them. They basically didn't come to play and Stanford took advantage of it. And I don't understand how Arizona was in the game. To be honest with you, just based on how they played.
Their defense. They forced 21 turnovers. They were making life hard, and their quickness was really a problem for Stanford. Stanford couldn't handle the quickness, and then the defense. There was just a lot. They just peeled the girls and went down the other way and scored. So they were turning defense into offense. But those last 2 possessions, my God, I was just sitting there for Stanford. I believe it was Williams. She had the ball. She dribbled it the whole shot clock, and I'm thinking she's gonna shoot. And then she passes it with like 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and it turns into a turnover because it's like, I mean, what do you want me to do? And,
I don't. Some players you think have that IQ down that stretch. Some people just kind of go brain dead.
She definitely went brain dead.
Go blank, I should say.
She definitely, because the way she was dribbling, it seemed like she made up her mind. She was going to score. That's what I thought. And then I was just like, okay, what a waste of possession. You guys are only up 1. And then Arizona, on their end, they have 1 timeout. They should have used that timeout. You might as well use it. You can't take them with you. Just, because usually when coaches see what a defense is doing, okay, timeout. Let's draw up something else. But they did it, and the whole setup, it was just bad from the get-go because once she caught the ball, they had, her dominant hand is her left hand, and they had everybody on the left side. They threw 3 people at her. She had 2 people open, but she couldn't see. And it was that, but I mean, I was surprised she got the shot off and it almost went in. But
it's just one of them things, man. She had 22. The highest person on her team had 7. You're just better off. And Pellington had 15 off the bench, but you're better off just having her take that shot. Unfortunately, it was over 3 people.
Yeah.
Every game we could talk about all the shoulda, couldas, and what didn't happen in the game. So that's just one thing that
I just think they should at least try to give her a better situation than they did, because I knew from the get go Stanford was like, we don't care. They was gonna throw everybody at her because they knew she was gonna shoot the ball no matter what, and it was man. But it was a good game. This is Stanford's first title since 1992.
Okay,
I think that's one of the longest droughts in women's basketball history.
I'm sure there are a lot more droughts just because UConn.
Between first title and second title. I meant between the first title and the second title. That's the.
All right, I'm about to say a lot of universities ain't with that because of UConn.
Better phrasing, but yeah, congratulations to Stanford. And Stanford, they were pretty much top 5 team all season. I mean, Arizona, they had a good season. I mean, they upset UConn, but everybody thought that UConn was going to win, so they had a great season. And I know you lose by 1 point, your best player got the shot that they wanted, and it just sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. Yep. The ball wasn't bouncing Gonzaga's way on Monday.
At all. They didn't bounce nowhere near that way.
And this is from the beginning. From tip-off, it was bully ball from tip-off because these dudes just manhandled it.
Well, we talked about the meme that everybody talked about on Instagram saying that Gonzaga's that AAU team that hadn't played against the hood team yet. And, my thing on it is Gonzaga's a more finesse team than Baylor. Mm-hmm. Baylor's legit grit, grind, and they got 4 guards that could break you down. Gonzaga relies on one guard heavily who's gonna be a top draft pick, you know what I mean, this year if he decides to come out. Yeah, he's definitely one of the best players in the country. But once you've seen him get in foul trouble, which is rare this year,
early too,
they really didn't know what to do because he was still the leading scorer.
Yeah.
Like how's your leading scorer got foul trouble in the first half? Like somebody else had to pick it up.
Not even the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, like
the first 2 minutes.
So.
And Timmy and Kispert, it was a long night for those two guys.
Yeah, they weren't prepared for that banging.
No, they were. No, they were not. And it was like, I said this online. Gonzaga, them boys be in the weight room because they look like football players out there, and it was just like they shot 44% from the field. 43% from 3 and 88% from the free throw line. It seemed like every shot they took, they couldn't miss. I mean, Butler, he had 4 threes, and I just swear he just kept going further and further back from the 3-point line, and it was.
Well, also too, you gotta look at it too. They play 5 guards actually, so. That's just a hard matchup for any Division I team. Any team, naturally, just because you usually have guys to fill in each spot. These guys are interchangeable.
Yeah.
And then you got this big guy that's just beating people up, getting rebounds and just doing what he wants. Yeah, so
he's from Congo, so we got a championship.
Man, that's what's up, man. Shout out to him. And you can just tell that Gonzaga wasn't physically prepared to go up against them because you got Timmy. He only shot the ball 7 times.
Yeah,
like he's supposed to be All-American, All-Conference, all everything, and for him to only get 7 shots up in the national championship, there's a reason to that, and that was Baylor.
He got 7 shots and he made 5 of them, and you'd be like, oh, he must have had a good game. But then when you look at Baylor, this guy Vital, he had 8 offensive rebounds. He had 11 total. He had half of Baylor's offensive rebounds. So it was physicality meeting finesse, and it was just a long night.
You know what they say, man. Defense wins championships, and Gonzaga was outscoring people. They were really beating people by outscoring them. Yeah. And now they got outscored, and they had to really compete, and it just wasn't their night. Yeah,
and you kind of saw a little bit of that from the UCLA game because UCLA gave them fits too. It was just the way it ended. It was just like, well.
Yeah, Gonzaga just doesn't match up with a team that has more than 2 guards at a position. Once you put 3 or 4 guards out there, Gonzaga just can't match up. They don't have, the personnel that's quick enough. They do have the personnel that's tall enough, the length, but they don't have the speed and I want to say, the lateral movement.
And it's rare for college teams to put out 4 guards and they're all effective. But usually there's going to be a disadvantage somewhere, but for Baylor, when they just put out 4 guards in the center, there was no disadvantage.
The last time I seen something similar to that, I think maybe people might have said it during the game, was Villanova. That's kind of remind me of what Allen Ray and them. Ray, Randy Foy, and the other 2, Kyle Lowry and the white dude. No disrespect.
Nardi, Nardi is that?
Nardi, I think.
Yeah, Mike Nardi. There we go.
Mike Nardi. See, cool. See, so we got all 4 of them, and they were a top 10 team. The 2 what?
And then they ran into Florida, and and Florida's size just was too much for them. So
So it was a double-edged sword, you could say.
Yeah, definitely. But for Baylor, this is big. First national championship for the men's basketball program. Considering what went on before Scott Drew took the job in 2003, the program was about to be no more. And for him, granted it took him 18 years to do it, but for him to even stick around that long and ride it through all the sanctions and all the penalties they got, for him just to stick with it and stay there and bring it. I'm sure he's just like, this is more. And I mean, if he never wins one, it'll be fine because just what he had to go through just to get to this point.
Yeah, I definitely congratulate him on that and him fighting through all that. But you still get paid during sanctions and all that, right?
Yeah.
It's a little easier to stick through it. If you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have went to another school, but like kudos to him for sticking through. But it's like he's getting big money, so still.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of people didn't know what happened with. Apparently, a lot of people didn't know what went on with Baylor. When I was reading online, a lot of people did not know what went on in the early 2000s. I was like,
yeah, that was right before Instagram and all that. I think.
Yeah.
So once
I remember because I read it, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was. Ooh.
Yeah. So congratulations to Baylor on winning the national title, and Gonzaga, man, Mark Few, he's. Man, a tough break for him. He's been there, but it's just.
Yeah, man, and also too, shout out to Gonzaga and was it Few or Hugh?
Mark Few,
man, because he's one person we could definitely say stuck through it.
Yeah, he's been there since they were getting.
He's been there since
the first round
he built it from the ground up. So I hope he retires at Gonzaga, and I hope he finally wins one at some point in his career because he's well deserving of one because he definitely built that school from the ground up, basketball wise.
He got to get one at some point because he's been coming so close, and it's just and we still don't have an undefeated team. Well, the last undefeated team remains the 75-76 Indiana Hoosiers. So there's that. Also, in other news in college basketball, Roy Williams retired. He announced his retirement on April Fool's Day, and everybody thought it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. Had the press conference, and the thing he just said he feels like it's not. He just don't want to coach no more because of the way college basketball is going. He didn't say that He didn't say that, but you could tell that's what all this transferring of players just want to leave after the first year because they're not getting enough minutes or something like that. So, and the way college basketball is going, he just was like, he's not dealing with that. He's 70, and he's like, yeah.
Hey, man,
and I don't blame him.
He has the right to feel how he feels. He's been coaching since before we were born, and he's been around, when basketball was in its heyday.
Yeah.
When it was like the golden era. So, shout out to Roy Williams, man, and his career. Definitely a great stellar Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, he was one of those coaches. He did it all his national titles. He didn't do it one and dones. He usually kept guys 3, 2, 3, some 4 years. He usually would always have certain guys, even guys who may be one and done, stay another year or extra year. I mean, I remember Marvin Williams was the first guy really that did one and done for him at Carolina and he kind of told him I think he should go. So he's one of those coaches. If he feels like you should go, that you're gonna go high, he usually gives the players the go to go, or he encourages them to leave and not if their skills, if they're good enough to go to that level at that point.
He's a great judge of character and professionalism, skill set, because who he's been around. Yeah,
and I mean he's putting a lot of guys in the NBA in Kansas, and I don't know how many first round picks he got, but he's got a lot. So congratulations, and then Hubert Davis gets the job. They announced it. I believe it was either yesterday or the day before. They announced Hubert Davis
congrats
as
to
a
Hubert.
job. North Carolina alum. He was assistant for 10 years under Roy Williams.
He's the first black coach from UNC, from any Division I team.
Yeah. So making history. His press conference was a little interesting.
Nah, I didn't see
oh
it.
Man, you gotta watch it when you get the chance.
I'll check it out.
There's like a turning point that happens in what he was saying that everybody was just like. But congratulations to him, and I'm sure former NBA player as well, played with the Knicks for so long. Everybody thought that that Big E's. I got a story to tell. They thought it was about him.
Oh yeah,
and it wasn't about him. And that statement he made in the press conference would also reaffirm why it wasn't about him.
Oh, that's why he went kind of left. Oh, okay. I'll definitely appreciate that too.
But congratulations to Hubert Davis, and now he's got college basketball is just like there's like no day off. Once you get the job, it's like, all right, now I got to go on the recruiting trail. I got to talk to the guys we were recruiting. I got to talk to the guys that that Roy Williams recruited. And
but for him, his name holds weight.
Yeah.
So he playing the NBA, and he was announcing for a little bit.
Yeah, he was announcing for a while.
So he's definitely a household name. So it'll be a little easy for him to get on the jump of things and get a hold of people.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go into some NFL news. The big news in the NFL this week was the New York Jets parting ways with Sam Darnold, everybody was saying Sam Darnold needs to leave. Well, he needs to get out of New York because they've just been doing him a disservice. Now he's heading to Carolina. Now it's what's going to happen with Teddy Bridgewater. The Jets get draft picks. Good moves. Good move for Sam Darnold. Good moves for both parties because they seem like
man. I think definitely good move for both because just the way the coach was speaking when he was asked about Sam Darnold, he was unsure and he made that very clear. So when your head coach isn't even as confident as a starting QB, you definitely want to go elsewhere to somebody that has confidence in you. Have a clean slate.
Yeah.
And the Jets need a new face there. I was kind of surprised they didn't just trade Teddy Bridgewater for Sam Darnold and gave Carolina maybe a draft pick or something for Teddy.
I'm pretty sure the reason they didn't trade Teddy because they're grabbing a quarterback, one of these quarterbacks with that second pick, with that pick in the draft.
But we know actually that they are better. Yeah, they are better than the Giants, so they might actually pick one of the top quarterbacks that are coming out compared to what the Giants did.
Yeah.
But we never know because New York is a little ridiculous. So I'm just saying, you just want to be safe rather than sorry, and just have something in the back just in case you miss out. It's kind of like a trend out there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I just feel bad for Teddy Bridgewater because now it's just like, okay, now I might get traded. I don't know what's gonna happen with me because clearly they traded for this guy for a reason. So now he's gotta be like, okay.
But Sam Darnold also has to prove himself because we don't even know who Sam Darnold really is as a quarterback.
Yeah, we just seeing good and a lot of bad.
Yeah, so he hasn't been in a consistent enough system to see if he's even good enough to take Teddy's spot. So just compete, Teddy. You be alright.
And he had mono too, so I still can't get over that missing games because of mono.
You ever had mono?
No, I never had mono.
I've had mono,
and I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want it. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand how you miss some games. It's more or less the bodily harm that you can cause from being hit because your spleen gets inflamed. Ooh. So you might not look like you're sick, but you're so weak and all that. But if your spleen's not my spleen wasn't inflamed when I got mono, so I was able to continue playing in prep school. Even though I think I missed 4 or 6 games.
That just
I was home for 2 weeks.
That just sounds painful.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, I was home for a little bit.
That just sounds painful. Oh.
Yeah, you bedridden basically. You're just in bed, can't really do much.
And I'm always dramatic when I get when I have allergies and I can't sleep well because it's a struggle for me to sleep because my allergies is messed up. But this, I can only imagine.
And it's basically your body just breaks down. Mine was, I was in prep school pulling all nighters and basically out of my element, just doing things, just wasn't used to the whole situation. And got sick up there, and then body just shut down a little bit.
Yeah, well. Another lawsuit. Oh, Deshaun Watson. Woo!
Yeah,
it's at 22, I believe. I think the lawsuits are up at 22. He's losing endorsements. Nike. They've halted. Nike and Beats by Dre have halted their sponsorship, and I believe there was another sponsorship that dropped him. He's losing it, and the latest thing I heard, there was some hush money offered, $100K or something like that.
Man, I was watching a good friend of mine. Jay does a little talk to him. He does Instagram inspirational speaking, and I think insurance. I'm not too sure. Hope he doesn't quote me on that. Yeah. And then he does this thing. What's on the menu? And they were talking about Deshaun Watson and the numbers they were throwing out there in regards to people or ladies. I didn't read. I didn't. I haven't read anything up on it. I don't really read too much on ESPN, anyways, unless it's regards to the show. So when I heard the numbers and all that, and people who were lying, and people who quote unquote weren't telling the truth, and people who were.
It's just a whole crazy
Actually,
situation.
Let me rephrase that. Yeah. I meant people who said he didn't do anything compared to people who said he did. That's what I mean. And just the amount of people is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's just every week the numbers just keep growing and going. And then there was one thing I read is no police report has been filed or anything among all this, none. So it's just making me wonder what is really going on here?
You know what I said then, either last show or the show before that, just feels like the big smear campaign. he's trying to get out of there, and he's like, "Oh, you want out?
Yeah.
All right, cool." And then we're gonna make it hard for you. But I'm hoping this is all false. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, when I was listening to the show, I'm just like, how do you even have that much time to talk to that many people?
Yeah. So here it is right there. So in response to the press conference that was held yesterday by one of the accusers, and it said, in response to Tuesday's news conference, Hardin's law firm said in a statement that Tony Busby's law firm, which is representing the plaintiffs, sought $100,000 in hush money on behalf of the young lady to quietly settle the allegations the month before he filed the first lawsuit. So, when you read things like that, you're just like, that's why we're all just like we need the judicial system need to handle this, so we could all just stop speculating on what happening and people making judgments of person's character, of just people just making judgments and are you assuming that he's guilty and whatever. But this is just
it's real messy, man.
Very, very messy, which is why don't ever put yourself in a position to be in a messy situation like this. Even if you didn't do nothing, just don't ever do it. Just stay away from them IG DMs. That's all. Unless you know the person. No.
Nowadays, if you work that much, it don't even matter if you know the person.
Yeah, just stay away from the IG DMs. All right. We're going to go to No Huddle with Craig. Craig's going to talk about the situation as well, and then he's also going to give his thoughts on the trade the Jets had, and then we're going to come back. So, yeah, hold on for a sec. Yeah.
What up, everybody, and welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig, here to give you my updates on Sam Darnold and Deshaun Watson. So let's start off with the first development, which is the trade of Sam Darnold from the Jets to the Carolina Panthers. And what did the Carolina Panthers give up? This year they give up a 6th-round pick, which is crazy to me that, the year you trade him, you're only getting a 6th-round pick. A lot of good players can come out of the 6th round, but highly unlikely. Then next year they get a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick. So for me, getting Sam Darnold for this price tag is relatively a steal. Definitely, whether you believe it or not, he's definitely an upgrade from Teddy Bridgewater. I was high on Teddy Bridgewater before he went to Carolina Panthers after seeing how he played on the Saints. And that's not to say that Sam Darnold isn't a quality quarterback. I think Sam Darnold, if traded or released, whatever the case may be, wherever he lands, I think that he will start. How many teams are out there that he could start on? Not a ton, but I believe that he has the opportunity to start if he were to go to another team. If I'm Teddy Bridgewater, I'm trying to go to Indianapolis, where Carson Wentz always gets hurt, and you take over for a team that's most likely, almost 100% going to the playoffs. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Sam Darnold. I like this trade. He's getting something he's never had before, and that's a star running back. If Christian McCaffrey returns healthy and 100%, it's the best security blanket in the NFL. Second, he has the speedster deep threat of Robbie Anderson and the slot receiver in DJ Moore. Unfortunately, he loses Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel has now signed with the Washington football team. So I like a majority of his weapons. I do believe that there are some holes that need to be filled. But I think this is a good start for Sam Darnold. I don't believe that they have a full turnaround or he can reach his full potential until next year when they can make some waves. What will they do? Maybe they use their this year's first-round draft pick to go after one of those nice wide receivers. I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens. That does mean that they won't be drafting a quarterback, therefore opening up opportunities for other teams to grab one. Now, Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, is in some deep water right now. We have 22 lawsuits being filed against him, women accusing him of sexual misconduct, making sexual suggestive request or whatnot. Not 100% on all the details. But here's the thing. I never want to persecute a man or woman before knowing whether or not they're guilty. We have seen in the past where, it's all about a paycheck. Hence why these women are filing lawsuits and not pursuing criminal prosecution. If you're sexually assaulted in any way, whether it's physical or verbal, I would believe that you'd want to call the police. But they're threatening lawsuits. Now, that doesn't discredit their claims. They could be 100% telling the truth and believe this is the only way to go after Deshaun Watson, because maybe, a verbal assault isn't going to make anything happen for him legally, but a civil lawsuit can hurt him and also affect his football career. And that's a big thing, too. How will this affect Deshaun Watson's football career? The NFL is holding an investigation depending on their findings. I know players have been suspended for less. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. Found out that the girlfriend was lying about the allegations that was made against him, and he still got a 6-game suspension. So Deshaun Watson's career, his season, and his trade value, and whether or not he'll play for the Texans is all deep up in the air. Let's hope this situation gets resolved fast, and let's hope that it gets resolved accurately. Let's hope that if he did something wrong, he gets punished, and if he has not, that, whatever happens, happens. So that's all I have for you this week, but we'll see what goes on with Sam Darnold in the future and Deshaun Watson with his case. And until next week, I'll see you on No Huddle. Back to After the Whistle.
All right, and we are back. Okay, before we go to this flashback, high school football highlights, we want to give a shout out to Tyler Dugan's pops. So, I don't know if you remember Tyler Dugan, soccer player I interviewed a month ago or so. His dad watched the show, and his dad saw me on Monday.
Okay.
Came up to me, he's just like, "Oh, thanks for doing an interview with my son." Tyler. He's like, "Oh." And then he said he started watching the show afterwards, and he was like, he enjoyed watching it. And then he said, "The guy you work with, I remember him from basketball." I'm like, "I remember he played basketball at St. Mary's." I'm like, "Oh, you Tyler?" He's like, "No, I was an 8th grade teacher, but I remember watching him play when he was at St. Mary's." I was like, "Oh,
that's dope. I didn't even know. I didn't even know he taught." Like tall Tyler, that he played. He's on the bench in English.
No, Tyler. No. This is a soccer player.
Oh, okay.
This is a soccer player at Lynn Classical. His son,
Oh, my bad.
Tyler Dugan. He's
right.
a soccer and baseball player at Lynn Classical.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope.
His dad's actually running for school committee.
Okay.
School committee member. So he saw me. So gave some nice encouragement myself.
Well, maybe to vote for him, he'll get my name.
So shout out to Tyler's dad, and also Tyler get better. He won't be playing this season. He got an injury, so
It was hard to hear that, man. Definitely hope you heal properly.
feel better. We got a little flashback for you. Here's a flashback highlight from high school football. We're gonna go back to the fall of 1998. Lynn Classical, Lynn English Thanksgiving game, and yeah, check out these highlights. and we are back. Yeah, those highlights, they came courtesy. Those ones came courtesy of Brendan Crichton. He had some game tapes. He just gave them to me to put on DVD and upload them online. So they online somewhere. If you go on that Facebook page, that Lynn Sports Facebook page, they're up there, and also more highlights are coming. I had a whole bunch of games. There was a St. Mary's Lynn Classical game from 1999 too, but you weren't playing.
No.
There was a Javon DJ.
No, I know I wasn't playing. I was in middle school.
Yeah. We got Lynn English Lynn Classical High School games there. There's a Eastern Mass Championship game coming up. Gonna go up between Lynn Classical and Dover Sherborne, or whatever that school is named. This is when Calvin and Marcos were playing in.
I still don't know the name of them.
Yeah, I don't even know where that school is, but okay. I got that game. There's a Scooney Penn game in the pile. Okay. There's a whole bunch of games in that pile, man. So we got game highlights coming for you. So let's go to NBA. So small NBA news. Drew Holiday. He got himself a nice little extension with the Bucks.
Deserving.
For a 4 year. What was it, 130 mil, 160 mil, somewhere like that. There was a lot of digits. There was a lot of zeros.
Definitely well deserving.
Well deserving of him. And I feel like the Bucks, that's one of the guys they needed to pair with Giannis. Just a tough defender and a guy who could score, who could create his own shot.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite players to watch in the league.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated guys, if not the most underrated guy in the league for years. So any team he goes to, he's a valuable asset.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely, Giannis definitely could benefit from him, but they need to get more pieces around Giannis as well.
Yeah, it's 160 mil. It's 160 mil. It was a 135 extension, but that's still a lot of zeros. But yeah, this Bucks team, they need to surround him with shooters, and some of the guys they have decent shooters, but they don't have like.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and with Giannis's game, he's just like inside the paint type of guy. So we'll see. But Giannis is quietly putting up a good season too. But I think he's just being since the standard he played the last 2 years of MVP season, even though he's still putting up like MVP like numbers. They don't even want to talk about. They don't even want to discuss of him being MVP because of what happened in the playoffs.
Well, you just kind of took the words right out of my mouth when you said what happened in the playoffs. It's like you keep crowning this guy MVP and he can't even get out the second round. It's kind of hard to justify why you keep giving this man the trophy when the previous MVPs all were winners.
-1.
Who?
Westbrook.
Oh, yeah. His number was just incredible.
Yeah, he was putting up crazy numbers.
Hall of Fame numbers.
But that was also we're not gonna give it to Durant or Harden, but we're gonna give it to Westbrook. That was a little political.
I mean, in all reality, all these MVPs are political. Yeah. Let's be real.
Yeah, they're getting a little more ridiculously political this past year. But good shout outs to the Bucks. Good for the Bucks for signing Holiday. Now let's see if they can actually make a run this year. Because, I'm looking at their top 3 scores right now. You got 28, 20, and 17. Those are their top 3 the leading scorers. So it's like, all right, playoff comes. We need to see it this year. But the way Philly and Brooklyn playing, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I can say to that.
Yeah, good luck. All right, let's go to Athletes Corner. In this one, I talked with Kanye Wavezwa.
He was talking?
Yeah, he was talking.
Word.
You know that journalism school, man? I told Dina this too. Dina said the exact same thing. He sent me a text. Wow, you got him to talk. It's like, this is that journalism school training.
Nah, Kanye's a cool dude. He's not like... He'll talk. He's just not talkative. Yeah, that's the difference. Like, we're not talkative, but we'll talk to you.
Introvert.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's my guy. I like Kanye, man. He's very cool.
That's why I can talk to him.
Nah, that's Steph.
I'm the same way. So check this Athlete's Corner out. Right, hello and welcome to another edition of Athlete's Corner. And today we got Lynn English Jr., Kanye Wavezwa here with us. They just wrapped up their season Saturday. What's going on, man?
What up?
It's just another day, another dollar. No, it's the season's over. Condensed. You guys had a condensed season. First it was you guys weren't didn't know if you were going to play. Then it was things up in the air. Then you guys finally had a season. Just tell me how happy you were that you were able to get a season, even though it was shortened, but just how happy were you and your team that you were able to get a season?
So, well, of course, we were all happy because, like, we haven't played basketball, like, organized basketball in, like, a year. So, getting that chance to finally play with, like, the seniors that were leaving, it was great.
And you guys, I'm sure there was some optimism that you guys would have a full season, but coming off a state title game and being back-to-back champions, and the guys that you guys had coming back, you guys felt like if there was an actual season that you guys were going to be able to make another run at it for 3 in a row?
Yeah, we feel like, well, this little season that we had, we weren't able to reach our full potential as a team, but I feel like if we had the full season like we normally have, I think building up that chemistry, we could have made it again.
Well, your role stepped up a little bit more this season. The last couple of years coming off the bench, you had some starts in and out last year, but your role increased this year. You, Lewis, Ademide, you guys were key guys returning. Can you just talk about having all that, leadership role put on you by the head coach?
It was definitely out of my comfort zone because I'm usually the quiet kid that sits back and just follows whatever they need me to do. Mm-hmm. So stepping into this role, it was really like coming out of my shell a little bit, and it was just better for me. So in the future, I'll know how to lead a team even better than I did this previous season.
Yeah, definitely. Can you talk about some of the seniors that you played with? Ademide, Aaron. You just talk about those guys and just how they were big keys for the team this year.
Well, Ademide, he's probably the most dominant big man in the state. So having him as our basically anchor of our team, it was really good to play with him. Aaron, he was like the energizer. He always gave us energy when we needed it, like a defensive play, a steal, or just making a shot when we need it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about the season a little bit. You guys wrapped the season up with the Gbl Championship game against Everett. It was a hard fought game. Those guys had you guys down by 9. They just, they were bringing it to you guys the whole game, and then you guys made a run in the second half to regain the lead and eventually come out with the win. Just talk about how tough that team was, because they were the only team that played you guys tough.
Yeah. So we already knew that. Well, after our first game, they were going to come out physical again, and they kind of hit us. Hold up. Yes. My dog. They kind of hit us hard from the beginning, so we had to really wake up just like the first game. But I think the difference maker was during that game when we were down 9. I think I got a steal on the baseline in the and-1. Mm-hmm. I feel like that really woke the team up, and that's when we gained all the momentum back, which took the lead going into the fourth quarter.
And also in that span, I think you guys held them scoreless for for a long period of time, like from the end of the third quarter to at some point in the fourth quarter. You just talk about the defense, how you guys ramped up the defense, because they couldn't get a shot. Even when they got a shot, it wasn't a good shot, or they just missed everything. Just talk about the defense.
Well, we knew as a team that that's not how. Well, first we care about defense more than everything, first of all. But that's how as a team, we know that's not how we play defense, and we knew that we had to step it up in order to win that game.
And also, was it another added motivation knowing that this was Antonio's last game at Lynn English?
Yeah, we just wanted to let him go out in the right way, and the seniors too, because they went through a lot with these past 4 years that they've been in English. So we just wanted them to go out winners.
Yeah, can you talk about just the coaching staff in general, just how the way they've coached you up, coached the whole team up? You've been with them for 3 years. Just can you talk about the way they've coached you up from your freshman year until now?
Well, for me, they've really helped me improve as a player because I was really like, when I first went to English, I was, oh snap. Is my camera still on?
It's all good. Don't worry.
When I first went to English, I was really like a little scrawny kid, and they really helped me like become the player I am today. Mm-hmm. But with the team, they really hold everyone accountable, mainly on defense, but they really just want to see us going hard, going 110% every single play, and just working as a team.
And did you sense that this whole 8-game season for everybody was something that you guys probably already close, that kind of just brought everyone together, knowing that it's a condensed season, and with all the stuff that happened with the COVID and all that, the restrictions that you guys had with being around each other, and was that something that having the season, did they bring you guys somewhat close together?
I mean, usually we like during normal season, we have like team bonding like moments where like we can go out together, or we have like a trip to a different state, and we weren't able to do that this year. So it was harder to like bond like more together as a group. Mm-hmm. But I think towards the end, like we ended up like becoming more in tune with the team and just wanting to win.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you also made an announcement yesterday that you will be, this was also your last game at Lynn English. You're going to make the move to prep. You're going to go along with Antonio to Springfield Commonwealth. Just talk to me a little about that decision.
Me and my family, we spent a good amount of time thinking about it, and we just thought it was the best decision for me because my main goal is to make it D1 college ball. So we just felt like that was the best opportunity, and we're glad that Antonio gave us that chance to go play with him at that school.
And as seeing that you played a lot of AAU, playing for state title, do you feel like you're prepared for that prep level of basketball, that you feel like you've played competition that you're going to see at the prep level already?
Yeah, I think that AAU really helped. Well, AAU and English has helped a lot with like preparing me for things like this. And with my work ethic, I feel like I'll fit in just fine no matter what the circumstances are.
Now this will you'll be away from home. It'll be not too far, but you'll be in the middle of Springfield. Was that? Yeah. Are you ready for that? Will that be a little adjustment for you?
It'll be a little adjustment, but I'll be good.
But having Antonio there made it a lot easier too, as I would assume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, and just lastly, what were some of the lessons that you've learned in your 3 years at Lynn English that's going to help you carry on to your next phase?
Just stay true to myself, stay humble no matter what, and always just stay positive and look for the positive like outcomes out of every situation that I'm in.
All right, definitely. All right, Kanye, man. Lastly, before we get up out of here, just plug in your social media pages. So everybody, if they want to follow you, they could go to that.
My Instagram is Kanye.Wavezwa, so you can go follow that. Yeah, that's the only one that you guys need to.
All right, man. Hey, man. Good luck. Good luck in Springfield Commonwealth. I mean, so you'll be doing great things, and also congratulations on the Gbl Championship and the undefeated season.
You.
All right,
thank
man.
You.
You guys been watching Athletes Corner. Have a great day. And we are back. Thank you for Kanye for that.
Killer these.
Yeah, this dude's always
Oh,
eating Sour Patch
excuse me
Kids.
over here eating these little trolleys over here.
Yeah,
These little gummy worms. Had to confiscate my daughter's Easter candy. I bought her way too much. I didn't realize it until I got there. Oh, hold up.
Man, shout out to Kanye. He will be going to Springfield Commonwealth Academy with Antonio too, so he's making that move to prep, which is good for him, and he feels he's ready for it because of all the AAU games he's played, the AAU competition he's played against, and playing in the state championship game back to back.
Only thing I would tell him, just be prepared to play against some grown men, my friend.
Yeah.
I like some grown men.
Yeah, he said he's ready for it.
All right,
yeah.
prepared.
One thing I like about him, he stays true to himself. He's not gonna try to do or be anything that he's not. So that's a good mentality to have, especially when you're going to a new level. Yeah, pretty much you're gonna start playing against guys.
I don't know what that means really when it comes to just being prepared to play against grown men.
I mean. Once you there, it's just like, well, this is basketball, and I got a ball, pretty much. So, congratulations to him. All right, let's go around the world of sports. Okay, Major League Baseball started. The Red Sox last night, they beat the Rays 6-5. JD Martinez hit a walk-off homer in the 12th inning to give the Red Sox the lead. The teams are currently playing right now. It is the bottom of the 8th, and the Red Sox are up 9-1 right now. So the Red Sox, they started off 0-3, but they're trying to, baseball is just ridiculously long. So, NHL, the Bruins, they defeated the Flyers 4-2. Patrice Bergeron, he had a hat trick. The last one, it was a empty goal. It was an empty goal at the end. It was like, they were up 3-2, and it was just icing on the cake.
So a hat trick though, right?
Yeah, you might as well. Hey, you gonna give me this free goal? I'll take it.
Hey, you didn't pull a Ricky Davis getting your own air ball rebound. So, it's a certified goal, my man. Get that triple-double. You know what I was talking about.
The Bruins are currently 20-10 on the season, and they're 4th in the East Division. All right. And NBA news: the Celtics, they lost to the Sixers last night. Auto 696. Embiid at 35 points. He shot 20 free throws in this game. I was like,
oh, you talking about the Celtics?
Yeah.
Man, yo, Cornette. I'm sorry, man. I watched that first half. Embiid was trying to foul you out the first half of that game.
Yeah, it was really bad the way he was bullying him.
Yeah, man, yo. That's what I mean about playing against grown men, yo. Cornette, bro. You gotta get in the weight room against people like that. He could shoot that thing, but
Embiid
had the ball over the floor.
The game was 30. No lie, it was 37-37. Right? I changed the channel. I was watching something, then I flipped back, and it's 50-37. I'm just like, what the heck just happened these last 3-4 minutes? And then I saw the highlights. I'm like, oh, Danny Green was being left wide open, and
that too.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
He had to travel in that game. That was hilarious.
Danny Green is just a hilarious basketball player because I think he should be one of the faces of Shaqtin' the Fool.
You think?
Because man. Other NBA news: Isaiah Thomas, he signed a 10-day contract with the Pelicans. I believe he made his debut yesterday. Scored 10 points. He was fully
10. What?
10 points in 25 minutes. He was 4 of 13 from the field.
10-day contract.
Yeah.
For a guy that's played over 10 years in the NBA now? By now?
Yeah, this is his 10th year. Yeah.
They got the nerve.
Yeah.
Disrespectful after what the Celtics did, you know what I mean? There ain't no loyalty.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll keep him on the roster for the rest of the season. Yeah.
10-day contract,
or in April, just keep him on the rest of the season.
What the? Right? 10-day contract.
The Celtics are playing tonight against the Knicks. They host the Knicks tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30, but the game will probably be going on when this show airs, so whatever. All right, college basketball news. Arizona has parted ways with Sean Miller. He was coming in his last year of his contract, and it was just like
oh no! When I read it, it just said he got fired.
Well, parted ways. Yeah, parted. So, yeah, they gave him the boot.
So
I was being the TV. The TV, but yeah, they gave him the boot. He had 1 year left on his contract. They'll let him go. there was just too much going on in his time. He should have been let go.
Well, that's what I was
years
saying.
ago.
That's why I'm like, nah, he was fired because they were sick of all the antics. They were sick
Man.
of everything, and he wasn't winning. He wasn't winning anymore at the rate that could,
You know what I
keep
said?
him on that pedestal. So
You know what I said? They should have let his behind go after he lost to Buffalo in the NCAA tournament.
and I'm
with
an
the guys
Arizona
that
fan.
with the guys that he had, there was no reason they should have lost to Buffalo, but Buffalo.
Trust me, man. You don't think I know?
All right, so some college basketball news. They missed some players that have declared for the NBA draft. Ayo Dosunmu from Illinois, he declared. Marcus Bagley, Arizona State. Joshua, is it his teammate? Joshua Christopher. Christopher, he declared.
Oh, they
as
both
well.
declared. All right.
Keon Johnson, Tennessee, he declared. Miles McBride from West Virginia declared. Sharif Cooper declared, to no surprise. And DJ Stewart from Duke declared. And Scotty Miller from Florida, he declared. Armando Baycock from North Carolina, he's put his name. He's gonna test the waters, so he's gonna see his stuff, and if it's good enough, he'll go. If not, he'll come back. So kudos to all those guys. And high school hoops. Lynn English boys won the GBL tournament title over Everett in a hard-fought game. That was a pretty physical basketball game. Those two teams played, and the Lynn English girls, they lost to Everett. Tough loss for them. Finished the season 7-1.
Yep, 7-1. Yeah, 7-1.
It was crazy because Lynn English and Everett both finished 7-1, and the losses were to each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. You know, all I can say, great little 8-quarter of a season we had, which is cool, you know. The only thing to say about, the weekend's loss was, we got a young team and it just had some mental lapses that were, end up being big mistakes. Mm-hmm. But we learned from, great group of girls. It was probably one of my favorite seasons, only because of how well they listened and how they weren't scared to just, test the new waters and try new things and actually use the things they learned in the game.
Definitely.
But personality-wise, I think like Jules in them years are still my favorites, bro. Because I just you build that camaraderie over time and stuff. So.
And you guys got everybody coming back -1.
Yep. Alana's graduating. She's going to Salem State.
Good for her.
So yep.
But good for her. I'm a Salem State guy. I'll be claiming Salem State sometimes, but I still went there.
See you at the gym though. Running all types of people go to Salem State.
Yes.
I run the fakies that got IndyCar shirts on. They don't go to IndyCar. I don't like it.
Yeah. Speaking of the GBL, here's the highlights from the tournament. So here's the highlights from the championship games of boys and girls. Check these highlights out. And we are back. Okay. I meant to say this earlier, but I meant to say this a couple weeks ago, but I'm about to make a bold NFL prediction. You know, draft coming, trades, and stuff like that. I think the Pats gonna trade for OBJ. I think that's my bold prediction. Cleveland don't want him.
Cleveland don't want him.
Cleveland don't want him because their quarterback apparently has a hard time getting him the ball.
I think because he wants to give the ball all the time, so he just can't help it.
Yeah, he wants to give him the ball all the time so that he forces passes to him.
And then they lose games.
Yeah.
And then he gets injured and they start throwing.
And then they blame it on OBJ. So, you know, Belichick likes diva. He likes crazy receivers. He also likes playmakers. And
Belichick likes giving people
a chance.
second chances. Belichick likes giving people who are like elite second chances. Don't waste his time if you like mediocre.
Yeah.
Or no, he'll do mediocre too because he can turn you into something.
Yeah.
But don't be no bum thinking you the man he loves giving people chances, especially if you humble yourself, because you will get humbled as soon as you come to New England.
And make that call because Cam likes him. Him and Cam work out together. They work out together in the offseason. Yeah,
Same stylist too, hairstylist.
No, I don't think so.
Must have switched you with the Cleveland because you cut that. You gonna get it back.
That's my bold prediction. Also, English and classical football programs, they've started their practices. First game of the season for English is April 23rd. I believe they're playing Everett at Everett. And I don't know what classical's playing, but when I get that information, I'll give that to y'all next week. But that's it. We are about done. You know, make sure you check us out on lyntv.org. Make sure to catch up. We got videos. We got interviews with mayoral candidates, so check those out. Go to the Facebook page, Lynn Community Television. Go to the YouTube channel, all that good stuff. LCTV After the Whistle Instagram page, and Community Television Instagram page. Mr. Burton 23 Instagram. Mukala K Instagram. And yeah, we are up out of here. I think we're forgetting something, but whatever we forget, maybe we'll get back to it next week, but who knows. But yeah, have a great weekend, everybody.